And now for everyone's favorite evil dragon.
What up, Tamers? It's Team K-Sunners bringing you another exciting episode of Sauce or Loss, where we look at hot new support for the Digimon card game and determine if it's Chef Curry in the pot or if it's a big old flop. Now, Digimon fans, I ask you, have you ever wondered what it'd be like to mix Impmon with a little bit of Guilmon and add in a sprinkle of rock and roll? Well, me neither, but John Bandai decided to rock out with an interesting archetype coming in the EX7 Digimon Liberator set, with a surprising new Impmon line from the novel side of the Digimon Liberators franchise. This archetype focuses on musically themed dark and evil dragons and a discard style of play where you get benefits from a lower card count in your hand. And with a few new dark dragons also included in the set you can use to harmonize with the new line, seems like these guys are trying to get out of the garage band phase and hit the big stage. When this archetype was first teased, I will say the art style really captivated me. I don't know why, just something about it, but I can't put my finger on it. But like Mama always said, looks ain't everything. Time to find out if this hot new twist on an old fan favorite can hit all the right notes. First up, we have Guilmon, a purple level 2 lesser liberator Digitama with the inheritable. When attacking, once per turn, if you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait in your trash. Now this baby is definitely trying to grow up fast. With a deck that revolves around having 4 or less cards in hand, this effect can help compensate for cards that you'll be ditching in order to make this effect live. But you gotta watch for that card count, and with no protection effects for the deck as of yet, sometimes your hard work can fall on a flat note. For these reasons though above, I'll give Guilmon a sauce rating, as it does what it's supposed to do, helping us get into our higher levels in a pseudo-blitz-like fashion. Where have I seen that before? But keep in mind, the sauce can be a bit more sour than sweet if you're not set up correctly in hand size or DP, but definitely a handy effect if you don't have the tamer out. More on that later. It's giving BT14 Balmon with a bit of an edge factor, but like Jack Black said, when it comes to rock and roll, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. Looking at our mainline level 3, up next is one of our leading ladies. Yes, this version is a girl.
So, Renamon, you're a girl, right?
Actually, Digimon aren't divided into gender.
EX7 Impmon, a red and purple level 3 evil liberator that evos for 1 cost, which is unfortunate, but will be 0 off of a Guilmon. Yay! With a pretty handy effect. Your turn, when this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. And the inherited effect, your turn, this Digimon gains 2000 DP. Now this is where we start rocking and rolling a bit. This effect hits like a smooth melody, making your Digivolutions cheaper and helping you hold down your turn a bit easier. And its inheritable definitely makes little Guilmon a whole lot sweeter, adding 2000 DP to the stack. I know another deck that could really take advantage of this as well. This little lady is sauce for the deck, really helping manage your memory, being the rookie you definitely want to have on center stage. And when the scramble cards finally come out, its 1k DP makes it the #1 choice you're bringing back for an encore. Now let's get into these level 4s. Remember when your parents warned you not to be like those punks in the mall, always trying to hang out with your friends instead of studying? Well, in this case, it may not be such a bad thing when looking at the mainline level 4, Punkmon, a Dark Dragon Liberator with a Digivolution cost of 3 but can evil for 2 off of something with the evil trait, with an effect that reads, when digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play 1 Yuki from your hand without paying the cost, and an inherited effect, this Digimon gains 2000 DP. Now this effect is pretty standard among good level 4s these days, but with a mild twist. You can actually have another tamer out and still get value out of this, essentially letting you play up to 2 Yukis, or letting you drop a Yuki when you already have a tamer out, like a memory setter. That's pretty good. Though for what this deck's main gimmick is, there's 2 words missing on this card that could have taken this from some mid-game mustard to the sauciest of sauce. Play Yuki from hand or trash. Is that so hard, John Bandai? Do better. For the reasons above, I will throw this a sauce rating for that early game, but with that subtle lost aftertaste for this being a dead card past 2 tamers. But with that extra 2k inheritable, it's pretty decent when we get around the level 6 mark. Hopefully with the future support, they'll fix that little missing text issue and give us something a tad more in tune with what the deck's trying to do. Now we love our main headliners, but what's a good performance without some backup singers? And we find a pretty interesting one with EX7 Eismon Scatter Mode. It's a level 4 Dark Dragon Digimon with the on-play effect that reads, trash 1 card in your hand, then you may return 1 Digimon card with the evil, Dark Dragon, or Evil Dragon trait from your trash to your hand. We're also sporting every purple player's favorite inheritable, Retaliation. For those who don't know, when this Digimon is deleted after losing a battle, delete the Digimon it was battling. Now before doing my research, I was not aware that Izamon and friends were dark dragons, but honestly that suits our purposes just fine when it comes to synergy of effects, as well as giving the good old Izamon engine some life again, while recurring our rookies and putting combo pieces in the trash to set up plays and giving any level 5 and up a bit more bite. This card is some good old sauce for the deck. There's only a small pool of dark and evil dragon support to choose from right now, but this boy does a good job for resource management, as well as being a reliable combo piece, helping for a sonically smooth experience. Alright, getting to these level 5s, let's pump up the volume with some ultimate level sound, and we have the perfect Digimon to help out with that. Next up on center stage is Loudmon, a cyborg liberator that shares the dark dragon trait as well, and digivolves for 4 regularly or for 3 off of a dark or evil dragon with some pretty righteous effects. On play, when digivolving, trash 2 cards in your hand, then send 7,000 decibels of destruction to one of your opponent's Digimon. Basically, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7,000 DP or less. We also got a pretty nasty inheritable on this one that reads, your turn, while you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, all of your Digimon with the dark or evil dragon trait gain security attack +1. So not only does this thing help empty your hand and delete any unwanted listeners on board, but this thing will bless the ears of any fellow dark dragon or evil dragons that happen to be in listening range, giving them all sec +1, super handy when we get to our top end, helping us shred your opponent's security like Slash with his electric guitar. This is one of the best Digimon in our playlist, so you know we're going to be putting it on repeat all day long. This card is major sauce, helping us finish off our opponent quickly if our card count is 4 or under, and with its digivolving and on-play effects helping us get to that optimal hand size to facilitate these effects, Loudmon will leave your opponent frustrated like having a blown out sound system in a brand new car. Following up that act is Orochimon, a level 5 Dark Dragon Digimon with a blocker trait and an on-deletion effect that reads, trash 1 card in your hand, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 and level 4 Digimon. It also has the inheritable Retaliation. Gotta love Purple's greatest hits. At first glance, I wouldn't be running up for any autographs from this dude, but a blocker that can provide some destruction on deletion, possibly saving you for some game-ending swings, isn't so bad. The Retaliation here is a tad unfortunate to see, as we already have it in a level 4. Orochimon isn't necessarily what you want to be digivolving off of either, so I don't really see the incentive to have it in sources. It's much better as a body on board. A different inheritable would have been better here in my opinion. It's okay, but nothing wrong with changing up the song every now and again, you know? I'm not gonna put this in the lost category, as this card can come up in combos, but it's definitely some mid-mustard. With lacking access to dark and evil dragons, especially in the level 5 category, this guy does the best he can in helping save a turn or two, but we're definitely hoping the producers at Bandai can come up with a better sound with a bit more bass. Now getting into these level 6s, it's time for the front man of our band to shine, HeavyMetaldramon, a Dark Dragon Liberator Digimon that evolves for 5 but can be evolved for 4 off of a level 5 with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait. Surprise, surprise. We're not all just glam rock over here though. This guy's got some pretty hardcore effects as well. When digivolving, trash 2 cards in your hand. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. And, end of turn, once per turn, you may play 1 card with the Evil, Dark Dragon, or Evil Dragon trait with a play cost of 8 or less from your trash without paying the cost. For each card in your hand, reduce 1 from this effect's play cost maximum. Now this Digimon embodies the spirit of rock. 13k base DP that could potentially reach up to 17k with the 2k inherits, and the ability to replenish our field at turn end with some of our lost Digimon to add to the entourage. And with such an epic look, this Digimon really is the chef's kiss to our discard dragon strategy. See what I did there, guys? You can laugh, it's okay.
Oh, brother!
This Digimon is super sauce, allowing you to evacuate the dance floor of annoying threats, as well as slap down more dragons to aid you offensively or defensively, depending on the situation. But keep an eye out on that card count, and make sure you got it correctly. This guy performs his best when you're at 0 to 1 cards. I mean, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore, am I right? So better make sure you're coming correctly with that information, because just like a bouncer at the venue, if you ain't got the correct ID, your other Digimon that you want to play definitely ain't getting in the venue. And speaking of bouncers, the last Digimon that we'll be taking a look at is EX7 HeavyMetaldramon, a level 6 Dark Dragon Digimon with a Digivolution cost of 3. And a natural blocker keyword skill. It also has an interesting trash effect. Trash, main, if you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, you may play this card from your trash with a play cost reduced by 4. So under the right conditions, you can play this out for 7, which isn't too bad for a high level blocker. With 11k though, there's a good amount of stuff in the game that can run it over, but like any good rock and roll fan, this Digimon is ready to take on the mosh pit, especially with this effect. On deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait from your trash without paying the cost. So essentially when this thing dies, you can use it to bring out another Digimon. You can use Loudmon to pop some threats on board, or float into another blocker like Orochimon, which would then float into some deletion if it happens to die as well. And with 2 sets of retaliation inherits to choose from, this Digimon can leave a real bang if deleted by battle if you've digivolved up the natural way. Its trash effect is also super useful. Instead of just passing turn doing nothing, since we'll have such a low card count, dare I say sometimes 0, this card can give you action while you seemingly have no resources and can potentially put up some good defense and swarm field. I could even see some Belphemon players getting a kick out of this one, even though they already have a Nidhoggmon that they favor to play. This card is some early game loss, late game sauce. It's not our main level 6 that we want to be evolving into, but when low on cards and in a pinch, this boy is ready to rise to the occasion and take to the stage to protect us from various threats like a stone cold security guard. Gotta make sure the public keeps their distance, am I right? And what's a great band without a great manager? Oops, I mean tamer. But with the way she helps manage your trash, who can tell the difference? I'm talking about Yuki, a 3-cost purple tamer with the Liberator trait with an effect that reads, start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. And main. If you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, by suspending this tamer, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait in your trash. This tamer helps hold everything together and basically turns your trash pile into your second hand, allowing you to pull some tricks on your opponent when you seemingly have little to no resources. This card is super sauce, especially when you have multiple on board. It's even better when combined with Yammon, making digivolving smooth like butter, even without having a single card in your hand. Not only are you gaining memory, but you're able to digivolve like the best of them and climb the stairway to heaven all the way to victory. As you can see, we have a variety of new and interesting cards that Bandai has given us as far as the first wave of support goes for a new archetype. There's some pretty saucy stuff among us here, but as a wise tamer once said, is the sauce even edible? Due to a lack of mainline support, small pool of previous cards with synergy, some card effects feeling awkward or useless at times, and the amount of work that you have to put down just to get the most use out of the deck, at the moment I don't think these young talented upstarts will be making it on to the next round. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. This deck is a loss.
No!
Might have to grab that lost trophy from War and hand it to our band over here. But give them a hand, folks. They tried their best out here. Don't get me wrong, the loss here isn't because the cards are trash. We're just still in the infancy stages for this style of play, so unfortunately this kind of makes it the worst Liberator deck out of all of them shown so far. The deck really feels like a bad Lugomon or Belphemon cover band. Tries to emulate the sound but struggles to catch up to the real thing in a few areas. Also, if your Digimon and Tamers on board happen to get the axe, seeing as you have little to no cards, the comeback really starts to feel like an uphill battle. As far as a fun deck goes, this is definitely a really cool and unique strategy, even if we are a bit far from the competitive level. I'd be really interested to see where this archetype goes from here, and if this group can have a wicked comeback tour in future sets. With cards that resemble some of my favorite Digimon, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But seriously, Bandai, fix the level 4, please and thank you. 2.5 air guitar solos out of 5. Thanks for watching another exciting episode of Sauce or Loss with your favorite group of TCG gamers. We see the love and support no matter how small, and we appreciate you guys for sticking with us. Let us know what sauce you'd throw in the pot and what archetypes you'd like us to cover in the next video. Take care and happy hunting.